Okay, Mr. Chairman, you are live.
Oh, let me get this off of here. Okay. All right. I guess we need to bring this meeting. Did everybody? I guess everybody got their minutes. If they got a chance to read them, I mean, it's not that.
Please peruse those. I apologize, like I said, but please go look over those if you would.
I guess I'll make a motion to approve the November 16th regular meeting notes.
You got a second?
That was by Donnie.
Yeah.
Do we have a second?
Second.
By
All in
Dr.
favor?
Hawkins.
All in favor, say yeah.
There's Mr. King. Just a second. I'm bringing John King in. Okay, there's John. Okay. As far as the hangar rentals go, are you ready, Mr. Mason or Mr.
Yes.
Chairman Mason? Hangar rentals, we do not have any additions or deletions. We're still running with 3 vacancies. I've actually utilized one of the vacancies for an overnight rental for a couple of nights to a helicopter that had come through and was socked in because of weather. He was flying VFR, and it was a Hughes 500, and it fits in our hangars perfectly. So we set him up for a couple of nights. So, and I just charged $25 a night on that. I believe it was. I can't remember exactly, but I'd have to go back and look. But we just charged a fee, and they said that's fine. And that's kind of where we're standing on that. We don't. I've had a couple other people that were interested, but I haven't heard anything back from them. I also have, and this is almost new, but since it's related to hangars, I'll bring this up at this point. I've had more than one inquiry as to whether or not we wanted to allow or see if we could allow leases, private leases for private hangars. And I said, that's something I would need to bring to you all, number one, first, and then I'd have to go to, it'll have to go to the Commonwealth for final approval. We don't have the ability, other than if you guys would like for me to pursue that, we don't have the ability, I don't believe, in our lease to make that commitment without prior approval from the state. But I've had 2. One's existing hangar owner or leasee, and the other one is someone who's inquiring about hangars, but also about the possibility of being able to build their own. I'm going like, well, if this was allowed, it would have to be completely by specs. You couldn't just build whatever you want to build. You'd have to build it to spec. It would probably be on a 25-year lease or something like that. So, and after that 25-year period or whatever that period may be, it would revert back to the airport as their property. That seems to be the standard. So I guess, what are your thoughts about us maybe inquiring as to whether or not we want to move in that direction?
Well, it don't cost the airport nothing, and that's the problem. They're trying to get 2 put up at Mayfield. So I mean, the airport's not, I mean, the city's not going to be out of a dime, you know, they pay for it all. In 25 years, it's going to revert back to the airport. I mean, to me, it's a no brainer. It's, it's the fuel cells.
Yeah.
That's the more airplanes we get here, the more fuel we're going to sell. And usually those bigger airplanes are going to be Jet A. So, and that would help us later on,
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. I certainly don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
I agree.
You agree, Doc?
I think so.
Sanford? Oh, sorry.
I agree with all of you. What I have witnessed at the previous airport I worked at was we had the same thing. They want to build their own hangars, but they also want to put in their fuel farms as well. Is that something you've heard, or they just want to build their own hangars?
Do they want to build it to their own specs instead of building it to our specs? Is that what you think?
No, they also say they wanted to have their own fuel farm.
Oh, no, they did not.
Okay.
No, that I would absolutely oppose.
Right. I think we should be upfront with them at the get-go with that is that they're not thinking that they could also have their own 10,000 gallon, fuel facility or something like that, just the hangar.
Yeah, that I think, yeah.
If it's just the hangar, I think it's a no-brainer.
Okay.
Yeah, if someone else were to build a hangar, I assume that the same regulations would apply in those hangars that apply in our hangar,
Exactly.
right? Has anybody got a different idea?
well, yes, the rules are going to have to be, they can't go store everything they want to in their hangars and stuff. Yes, those rules do apply.
Okay,
Just because you own it don't mean you, go put 15 campers in it, so.
right.
But if John, if you want the specs that like Mayfield has, I can get you those, and they all look the same. That's what you have to look at, and those are 60, I think they're 60 wide by 80 deep, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure, but Citation to fit in them, King Air, Pilatus will fit in all these big hangars.
We've already started looking at it. I think that they might have even in the AICP that we've submitted. I think there's even an area that may be set aside for that purpose. And it would be over to the west of the fuel farm. I believe that was on there. So, and there was a place for two if requested and if approved.
That's where the big hangars is set over there.
But they would be under the same specs that we're under, or would require, that we would build on. So, yeah. And also the same coloration, I would think, or whatever, so that it's all uniform. So, okay, if that's your feelings, then I will go ahead and start looking into talking with Hanson and seeing about maybe speaking with the state or the Commonwealth and see what their feelings are on that. I really don't know, as long as they're held to a standard that is acceptable to us in the Commonwealth. I'm assuming that would be a no loss, or, no lose for us. And it gives them what they want with a long-term lease. So.
Is that a 25-year option can you get another 25-year option, or is it terminate after 25 years, John?
What I've understood, most of them terminate after 25 years, you can still operate or stay in it, but after 25 years, and it doesn't pass. I don't think it passes from one to another. It's for the individual that signs on. It's 25 years. And am I right with that, Dennis and Jason? You're shaking your heads. Yes. So I think that was correct. The only person it could pass to, or the entity it could pass to would be to the airport itself.
Okay,
And I know there's a 25, but I don't know that there's any extension on that. Now, again, that doesn't mean that they would be booted after the 25 years. It's just that they would no longer have the ownership of it. They could still have access as long as they were either paying rent or some subsidy or whatever. You know, I don't know exactly what that would be.
Our rent is 25 years, isn't it? I mean, isn't our agreement?
Ours is 30 years with 2 10-year extensions.
Okay.
So the 25 years would still be within our time frame of our initial lease.
well,
Okay.
if we did a 25-year lease, as long as the state extended the lease to the city, could that lease be extended to whoever the entity was that built the hangar? Could that?
I just have to check, Donnie, because I'm not sure. I
Okay.
haven't gone that far into looking into it. I don't even know if the state or the Commonwealth will allow it, but I haven't gotten that far yet. I didn't want to go up there and start bugging him with hypotheticals until I
Yeah.
actually had somebody who was ready to put some money down.
Okay,
I don't want, this is not one where I want to chase rabbits. I want to know that this is something that's serious and they're ready to put money on it and not just talk about it. Because if you get someone like that, I think there's more. I think someone, if we've got that kind of a interest in it where they got money ready to put down and stuff like that, that the state would be more apt to not push it off and deal with it.
Well, see, the big hangars at Mayfield are $650 a month. They've already got one, or they got two that it's not owned. Then we got one that's owned by Premier. But they changed theirs, went from 20 years to 30 years because I mean you're spending $500,000 to get one built, close to it, time it's all said and done. So, so it's going to figure out at 30 years you're going to be paying the same amount. You're going to be paying that $700, $800 a month over the next 30 years.
And the state would probably go that. I just don't know because I haven't gone any further with this.
Sure.
Like I said, I didn't want to throw stuff up there and let them just throw it off to the side. I want it to have something they're going to have to respond to fairly quickly. Okay. Any other questions on hangars or discussion on hangars? Okay. Fuel sales. Currently, our avgas fuel sales are doing fairly well. I don't have the actual dollar amounts right now, but we've actually sold probably twice what I expected we would sell in avgas. We have sold enough of the Jet A that I can replenish, and I've got to order in for 1,250 gallons. I've got 2437 in the tank. I'm getting 1250 in Friday. So that replenishes it and that carries us for another 6 months. And hopefully they get us into the spring and maybe some agricultural usage, et cetera, et cetera. So, and probably, and the prices for the Jet A are going to go back up probably first of the week. Right now we're down at 275. And we've advertised it on ForeFlight, on Nav Air, we put a media boost out on social media. And so, I mean, and of course it's advertised out there at the 275. So, but, and it will take off eventually, I'm sure, but it'll have to go back up because right now, without the load fee, a delivery fee, we're paying just a hair over $3 a gallon for Jet A on this next load. So it's 3.00 on to infinity little change amounts, but right at $3 a gallon, then the delivery fee on top of that. So we're probably looking at cost being somewhere around probably $3.15. And we'd be selling it somewhere up in I'll find what the going rate is. I think it's somewhere around 380 right now. I think that's what Brent's got his at Mayfield, isn't it? 380 for Jet A?
When it was 370, I think they did just go up 380.
Yeah, I knew it was going up, but just want to let you know, we're not, we're okay. We're not going to have to worry about making a vast run to get rid of some of that fuel. We've got it to where we can. And so we've got that going. That's okay. Let me share with you a proposed tower. I got a letter from the Kentucky Airport Zoning Commission. There's a proposed antenna tower that's going to be going up. It's over on the west side of Highway 95, south of the 25 interchange of I-24. I'm gonna share a screen so that you can actually see it. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Here's the tower, proposed location. There's I-24. This is 95, Highway 95. Of course, here's the airport. I didn't see an issue, but if you do have, they're taking comments. If anyone's interested, I will forward them the letter and the address to make written comments to the secretary. But just so you're aware of it, this is the proposed location. I can bring that in a little closer.
What is that, a 300-foot tower, cell tower?
It's not above, it states that, there was something here that said it was not above the standards or Kentucky Airport Zoning Commission conducted an aeronautical study of the proposal to determine determine its effects upon the safe and efficient use of navigable airspace by aircraft and on the operation of air navigation facilities. In the study, consideration will be given to all facts relevant to the effect of the structure on the safety of airport users and surface persons and property, the character of the flying operations conducted at the airport, nature of the terrain, height of the existing structures and trees above the level of the airport, the views of the officials of the FAA as to the safe approaches required for operation of the airport, future development of airport, including extensions to the runway that may be required, the interest of public in developing a sound public transportation system, views, opinions of those owning land in the area. Interested parties are invited to participate in the study by submitting written comments to the administrator of the Kentucky's Airport Zoning Commission. And I've got their information, but it did state at some point here, the antenna will be located 3.1 nautical miles southwest by west of Mike 34 Kentucky Dam State Park Airport. Preliminary reviews indicate the structure. This structure exceeds no state standard. Dual red and white medium intensity obstruction marking lightings are proposed. So if you do want one, just let me know and I'll forward you a copy of this. Moving forward also with the proposals for the fencing and study for, I want to say it was the, hang on just a second. I think it was the study for the IFR. Just a minute. Come on. Okay, we're moving forward with the fence, the environmental for the fence, wildlife fence, and then we're also looking at our airport layout plan. And I believe you all have received copies of the airport layout plan. I've been advised that we're going to have a, there's a, what is that? Project will need an independent fee estimate. Hanson has contacted Garver, I think, who did the last one. That's a $3,000 amount. The grant that we have will cover that, and it's an eligible administrative expense. So we'll have to move forward and let them do their thing to get this moving. So, but that's what we're working on. And as I was I was talking with Dr. Hawkins about the IFR approach. That is still on the work. We did not get the go ahead from the FAA or from the Kentucky Division of Aviation, whoever it was. I think it was FAA actually, to move, because we didn't have the flyover until already we were 2 weeks into the cutting season. And if you remember, our cutting season for clearing season of the trees is from October the 15th to November the 31st because of 3 endangered species. And so we can't invade their territory except for those 6 weeks. So hopefully we're going to be ready to move forward with that next October, or this coming October. So that's kind of where we stand with our airport layout plan, the fencing, and the IFR. I think if there was anything else. Do you have anything else, gentlemen, on old business that we need, that I have overlooked? Okay. And Mr. Chairman, that's all the old business that I have at this point in time. The only new business that I have at this time would be your elections, your annual elections for chair and vice chair.
All right.
Carrie, that were the only 2 offices, correct?
Yes.
If I remember, it was this the chair and the vice chair. Sorry, I got. I'm not paying attention to the dog.
Huh?
Say something, just keep the folks present.
That's what they usually say in all of them.
All right, I think that's correct. It's just the chair and vice chair. If you guys want to proceed with that, I'm gonna look with some of the old minutes just to make sure that we're not missing another office, but I think those are the only 2 officers right now. And I guess I need to find out who the actual officers are too, don't I? I know who the chairman is. I can't remember.
Dennis and Donnie.
Yeah. I'm
Donnie
good
is the
with
vice chair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, all
that's
right. So it's just the 2 officers, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then I don't have to check. All right. Chairman Mason, I'll turn it over to you.
Somebody wants my spot, they can take it, but I mean, me.
Change anything. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Dr. Hawkins wants it, he can have it.
No, he wants to keep
I
it the
want
same.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with keeping it as the chair. It don't make me, I mean, I'd be glad to do it if nobody else wants it.
Do we want to go ahead and keep the same slate of officers? Or do you want does someone want to make a recommendation or make a motion?
I make a motion to keep the same officers.
Okay. Do we have a second for that?
I second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations?
Well, why don't I nominate Jason to take my place, and then next year, then he can step up and take Dennis's place. How's that?
Well, we need so we got a motion for the same slate, then you have a motion for Jason Sandifer are you not wanting it this year, Donnie?
Oh, certainly. I'll be glad to take it.
Okay,
I
but
just
we
wanted to
also have
offer
a,
it to Jason. I haven't actually met him, but I'm willing to offer it to
Okay.
him. But
Well,
we
we have
want to
a-
leave it alone, get through another year. But some younger blood coming up that's what I'm getting at,
all right.
We
Jason,
just
would
leave
you
it
accept
alone.
the nomination if we have a second? Or you were voted in?
I would accept it.
Okay. So there's a motion
I'm happy to
to,
do either.
sir?
I'm happy to do either one.
All right. So there's a motion there. There's a second for Mr. Sandifer.
Second.
Who was that?
Doc,
Okay. All right. All right. So any other nominations for chair? Okay. All in favor of Mr. Mason being chair, just raise your right hand, please. Okay, that's unanimous. All right. Mr. Mason, you abstain, all right, Dennis?
Yep.
Okay, all right. We have two then for vice chair. All for Mr. Travis. Raise your right hand.
Oh, you're going, but Donnie's going to give it up.
Everyone who wants to vote for Donnie for vice chair is what I'm saying. Raise your right hand. Okay, all for Mr. Sandifer. Raise your right hand.
Donnie goes.
Okay. All right, so I got three on that one. Okay, all right. So Jason, you're going to be the new vice chair.
Understood. Thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you.
That was Donnie's way of sneaking out gracefully.
Tough campaign.
Okay. That's all the business I have, Mr. Chairman. If you have anything else that you want to bring up or anybody else has anything they want to bring up?
Nope, I think I'm good. You have nothing on my list. So we have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Does anybody else have anything before we go adjourn? Donnie, you have anything else?
No, sir.
Doc,
No.
John,
Good.
Mr. Sandifer, Jason?
Nothing here.
Okay. All right. Sorry. It's all yours, Dennis.
Do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I'll make a second.
All right. We will see you on a couple more.
All in favor.
All in favor. I'm sorry.
Aye.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate you being here.
All right. Thanks, John.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.